Today we're going to be taking a look at ELS for Grand Theft Auto 5 and making your game and your cars look amazing. What is up guys, Maxmov here, welcome back to another tutorial video, and I'm excited to do this. Got a couple of requests, mainly because a lot of my friends are absolute idiots and don't know how to use ELS. All jokes aside, this is actually kind of difficult, so I'm happy to make this video here. So today we're going to be taking a look at ELS for Grand Theft Auto 5 and LSPDFR, although it can be standalone. Anyway, I did get a lot of requests to do it, so I figured we'd go into it. I'm assuming you already have your game set up. I have some old video on setting up LSPDFR. It's not too good. I may remake it depending on tutorials, but this is kind of stuff that everyone knows now, and I really just want to get more in-depth with the things that you don't really know about yet. So first off, for those that don't have ELS yet, go ahead, do yourself a favor, head over to LSPDFR.com and look up emergency lighting system. I know I got that ad block going. Sorry. Anyway, if you don't want to do it or you're really lazy, and you're watching this video right now, head over to my channel right there, Maxmov, and down in the description of my LSPDFR videos, and in the description of this one, because I'm nice, and I'll put it there for you, down here somewhere we have, there it is, ELS, Emergency Lighting System, in the plugins and scripts. Also, for this tutorial, you're going to need yourself some good old ELS-enabled cars, because you need certain vehicles that are designed specifically to work with ELS. Otherwise, this will not work, and you'll get some just crazy, stupid stuff going on. Anyway, down in the vehicle section is all the stuff that I use. The vehicles that I use in my game. We got the Ford CVPI, my Charger, Police Interceptor Utility, unmarked CVPI, unmarked Charger, unmarked Suburban, Police Bike, Sheriff Pack, Silverado, Interceptor, you get the rest. One of the things, if you want super fast results, actually check out the CHP Mega Pack. We'll open that really fast. This is by the Herc, and you get instant, like, just drag and drop if you follow these instructions, and you don't have to do much setup. It's absolutely amazing. This thing's incredible, and all the vehicles are in a OIV pack, so Open4 installs it for you. That's really handy. Anyway, just grab any vehicle, or if you already have some, that's fine. Anyway, let's get into what you need to do. So you're gonna download this just as anyone else would. Grab the latest version. Right now it is currently 1.05, and once you get it, it's going to be in a download. You're going to find it in your folder. You're going to need to extract it to get it to this folder. Of course, I already did that. It's been in my game for a couple months now, basically since it's been out, but extract it using 7-zip or WinRAR. It's up to you. Then you're faced with these three. Media is just these pictures that are right here. You don't need them. Documentation, I highly recommend you read at least these two, default controls and user guide. The part map is for developers interested in making ELS cars. I did read it though. It's interesting, helps understand the way ELS works. For those wondering, ELS is actually, it's pretty ingenious in the way it works. Instead of writing a script that actually controls lights, what it did is ELS cars don't have any default style lights. That's why they won't work on their own, and that's why you need specific cars. But instead, they enable the in-game option menu for vehicles, so they're called extras, and basically it's like if you see, let's say for example, a van in Grand Theft Auto 5, and the same van has like a roof rack on top with ladders and pipes or something. That roof rack is an extra part. It's part of the model, but the game says whether or not it's on or off to give some variety. Same thing with police cars, for example. A lot of models have ram bars that are extras, so you can decide to enable them on or off. Well, ELS controls that, but with lights. So all of these lights, you see, like all of those lights there, those are controlled independently in a script, and they're actually extra parts. So ELS says, hey, turn this on now, turn this on now, now this light's gonna flash. It's incredibly ingenious. Shout out to Lieutenant Kane for making this happen, as well as the rest of the ELS team. But anyway, I really recommend reading the user guide. It's insanely handy. It's quite a big read, I will say. It's got so much to it. 32 pages. You don't have to read all of it, but definitely read the introductions. Anyway, installation files. This is where things get to the meat and potatoes, as it were, but this is something that's insanely useful. Here, actually, you can just copy it. Select this folder, hit copy. Inside is Grand Theft Auto 5, ELS, and then you're down to some goodness here. Anyway, though, once you copy that, head over to Grand Theft Auto 5, and you can even do it right here from your common. Just paste it right there, so that way you don't get a Grand Theft Auto 5 inside of here, or just copy the ELS folder. That's what I did. And then you paste it in here, and what it's going to do, actually, for some reason, I don't really know why. Hold on. This might be a little mistake on my part. Interesting. There you go. So it's going to have all of this in here. The other version, I guess I forgot to copy. That's what happens if you can drag and drop, it just won't save it from that initial. So you want to select all of it and just copy it over. What it's going to do is drop in an ELS folder. It's going to drop in advancedhook.dll, that guy right there. If, for example, you're downloading this down the line and it has been updated, you may want to do it just in the first place. Re-download Advanced Hook, get that latest version, drop it in. That way you're not overwriting anything you already have. It's also going to drop in a ELS ASI and a ELS config file, an INI, and then this is actually this is the log, and this is created once you launch your game. Anyway, inside this ELS folder is your pack default. So I believe it comes, yeah, this is in there. That's fine. These don't need to actually be there. This is here for reference. This is a VCF, and we'll get more into that later. So inside here is my pack default folder. As you can see, I have an actual butt ton of cars, quite a lot. And then this is unused. If you have some that you're not using but you want to save them, you can just throw them in there. This is an inactive folder. ELS will not use it. But you can see I have all of the vehicles: ambulance, FBI, FBI2. I have a custom Hellcat. I have the full CHP pack. Wow. And then I also have a couple Impalas, K9, all my sheriff cars, or my add-on sheriff cars, and tow truck, stuff like that. Anyway, this is all pretty simple. What you guys want to see, I assume, is the sort of the insides of these folders. So these come with, or hopefully, I wouldn't recommend using a ELS vehicle that doesn't come with one of these. It should come with one of these VCF, vehicle configuration files. For example, let's take a look at, let's just do Police 3. This is a Ford Police Interceptor utility by the Herc. Absolutely amazing. And you can see we have the insides of the VCF. This stuff doesn't really matter. This stuff is kind of important if you want light stage activation. Make sure it's on manual if you want normal American style. That way you have to click the light activation button 3 times to get to full siren settings. There's different versions like 999, which is the European style. There is a reverse manual where you start immediately light stage 3 and continuing to press the button will reduce. But most police vehicles, most control panels have a little slide rocker switch, and you start at 0 and on the other side is 3, and you just click that switch over until you're at 3, or depending on what light stage you're at. So that's why I have it at manual. Default siren mode, I have mine at standby. That's because I want to be able to go code 2 if I want to without the siren going. One of the things I hate about, not necessarily hate, but just don't like in default game when you immediately turn the... Same with Siren Mastery also. When you immediately turn the lights on, the siren goes as well. Standby makes it so that you say you're turning on your lights, click, click, click. Siren is not going to go on until you press the siren on button. I absolutely love that. This is having to do with the info panel that I never use. Actually, I do use it when I'm first using a car, so I can find different siren patterns, but this is some important stuff if you want to get into some really advanced editing of your VCS files. That's why my friends call me the settings god, because I'm known to tinker with things quite a lot. This has to do with the environmental light and the actual color and placement of all of these extras. As I said, the extras are different chunks of emergency lighting on the vehicle. So this is an important thing, especially with this vehicle, as it didn't actually come with takedowns, yet there were some modeled in as extras. All you had to do was bring in some, you just write this and allow it to true, make sure it's white, and then you have working takedowns. For some reason, I really don't know why. So this is all if you want to change the color of things, if you want to slightly move the location of the coronas and all of that stuff. Anyway, moving down, this is some important stuff. If you have a slick top, make sure it's true. This sort of depends with the whole lighting setup. Aero board is currently off. If you have a vehicle that has an aero board, make sure it's set to on, as there's some other settings to do with that. But honestly, as of now, I don't think there's anything with an aero board, which kind of sucks because this isn't a new feature. The aero board has been in ELS since it came out, and it's something that I honestly think would be pretty cool to have in the game, at least for some variation, especially if, maybe not necessarily police vehicles, but if you had something like Department of Transportation or highway, like construction vehicles, work trucks that have pop-up aero boards, that would be pretty cool. Alright, use steady burn lights. If your vehicle is equipped with steady burns, enable that to true. I wouldn't really mess with it. Default siren light stage activated at light stage. So this is something really important. Most of the time you see it set to 3, and that is so that, again, when you click into those siren stages, 1, 2, 3, just for those that don't know, 0, stage 0, no lights, stage 2, secondary, stage 2, you have your, you have half of your primary along with secondary, and then stage 3, you have your warning lights, so that's going to include your wigwag, side runners, stuff like that, your full 100% primary lighting, and the secondary lighting. Secondary can be used for traffic control, stuff like that. We'll get into that later. But if you're at light stage 3, you can only use the siren at light stage 3. So what I do is I change it to 2, especially with the CHP, because it's just something realistic to what they do. A lot of times you have a little bit of red and blue, and for me, I really do like amber lights on my cars. I love traffic advisors along with the red and blue. I know that's going to piss some people off, but whatever. I'll prepare myself to hear it in the comment section. Anyway, so set it to 2, that way you can actually pull over vehicles at light stage 2. And also, you can see in some of my CHP videos, the lights are still set to that sort of scrolling traffic advisor while I'm still able to pull people over. This is because, again, you're sort of working around the in-game siren thing, and technically, according to the game, if this is set to 3, all of these lights don't matter until you're at light stage 3. But set it to light stage 2, long story short, and you'll be able to pull people over from there. Anyway, takedowns, enable that to true if you want to work with that. Scene lights, also true on this vehicle. A lot of this you may not want to edit because it has to do with the vehicle lighting setup designed by the author. So cruise lights, these are lights that you can manually turn on to sort of steady burn. These control which lighting groups are controlled. Here you have your Corona menus for headlights, taillights, indicators, and the front and back. And reverse lights, this is doing with color, not that big of a deal. Anyway, down here to sounds, this is important. Currently, it only uses the police sirens. Everyone, I swear to God, everyone has got their fingers crossed, their hands together. We are on our knees praying to the ELS gods that we will be able to use multiple siren groups, more than just the police, because before, you know, your vehicles would use any different siren depending on the audio hash in-game. So for example, like the sheriff department has their own sirens. I used to love FedSig smart sirens on my police and Mastercom Bs on the sheriff. It was just awesome, you know, and I really miss that because right now we're only doing FedSig. You can change it to whatever you want. Just keep in mind that the police sirens are only using the police siren in the game. So ELS only uses the police siren. Moving through here, you can enable whether it uses these sounds. So main horn interrupt siren. That way if you want your siren's going, you hit the horn will stop, the horn will play, and the siren will continue once the horn's done. There won't be a space or anything, it'll just be like siren, siren, horn, siren, siren, you know. Or you can have it to play over it, if that's set to false. Main tone allow use basically says, hey, do you want this tone on or off? On or off, on or off. You get the gist. And then you get the siren select, so siren 1, siren 2. I'm not too, like, this stuff, just kind of leave it the same. I just pointed to my screen. You can't see that though. This is when things get really interesting and really fun. So, lighting patterns. This is what I'm sure a lot of you are looking for. So, let's go through right here. This is warning. This is what warning means. So these are going to be sort of wigwags and stuff. Right now, you can see here, everything's set to false. This is for forced patterns. As you can see here, I force patterns. I let the car do whatever it wants for warning. But we'll just skip down to primary because this is a lot of the really important stuff. So I have mine set to, and we'll take a look at a couple different VCFs later on, but I have light stage 3 preset patterns set to true, so that when I go to light stage 3, again, click, 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 I'm hitting my button just in my mind, you know. You're there, you're at light stage 3. Scan means that it's going to randomly cycle through every lighting pattern for the primary lights. That's how you can see when I'm stopped on a traffic stop, and I'm either out of my vehicle or in my vehicle running information, the lights are changing. I'm not doing that. It's doing it on its own. So I really recommend setting it to scan, and then light stage 3, make sure it's set to true. You can also, some of my vehicles, I have it set to true on 2 as well. True on 2. So have it set to scan, but then, you know, when I get to the siren and I turn the siren on, you notice it immediately snaps to something different. That's because siren tone 1 is it's set to true with a pattern. So this is why I say make sure you know how to turn on the control panel so that you can see the different commands and light patterns. When I first download a vehicle, I'll go into the game and just sit around for, it honestly can take anywhere from like 10 to 20 minutes cycling through every single lighting pattern and picking my favorites, what works well with the sirens and everything. And so I have billions of sticky notes with stuff written down, but you put in whatever, by default it'll be set to 0, so you have, like, I put in 636, 119, 119, so that when siren tone 1, the main siren, it will automatically and only play pattern 6. Siren tone 2, same thing, it'll only play 36. 3 and 4 will only play 19. So that way, when you're clearing an intersection and you smash the high-low or the phaser, that way you get those crazy patterns. That's because you have to manually say, hey, I want you to do this. Another thing you can do is the scan pattern custom pool. Of course, if you want true, turn that on. If you don't want it turn it to off. This is partially what I use with this scan. Some vehicles have it enabled, some not. It's up to your preference and my preference, for me at least. Of course, that makes sense. If you want to do something, do it. It's clearly your game. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it because it's my game. Anyway, you can set in basically a custom pool of scan patterns. So that's pretty cool. You can say, I only want you to scan through these, and it will. So here you can see it's lighting format is set to LED. There's different versions. There's like LED, rotator, CHP, different style things. Traffic is another one. This is traffic advisor. This is the secondary lighting. So this vehicle has a amber traffic advisor under the lip on the rear of the vehicle, inside the trunk lid. And you can see I have it disabled, or I don't have it disabled. Some vehicles do. This one isn't too annoying. Some vehicles are just awful with how bright it is when you're trying to go code 3. So this one I leave on. But here, this is probably, like, this stuff isn't that important for me at least, but the traffic advisor is super important to me. I have all of these set to true, and then nothing here. But you can see when I go to light stage 1, I have 29, and that is a right to left scrolling traffic advisor. And that is in the situation that I'm driving. You know, we play in America. We're on the right side of the road. Pull someone over, they're going to usually, hopefully, pull to the right shoulder. If not, I'm going to make them go to the right shoulder. Traffic's still going to be coming in that same direction, so you want a traffic advisor starting from the right side of your vehicle, scrolling over to the left, and that's where you get those yellowy-orange lights scrolling over. So that's pretty cool. This is what 29 on this particular vehicle. Please note, a lot of authors use different formats, so you're actually going to get different, like say 29 on this vehicle. If I do that with another vehicle by a different author, there's a very good chance that 29 is going to be a different pattern. So keep that in mind. However, a lot of authors use the same stuff for their own vehicles, especially in packs, so you can get lucky there. 29 is set to light stage 2 as well when I'm on a traffic stop. Light stage 3 is set to scan because I want it to just move around when it's going code 3. So that's the VCF for this vehicle. For the Herx Ford, I don't want to save. I didn't think I made any changes. We'll move around here, take a look at some other things. This is J.J. Dawkins' Impala, or I guess he changed it to Mr. Kindness. You can see a lot of the stuff's the same, set to 2. Scene lights, takedowns, all of that. Set to standby, manual, all of this is the same. Just showing you some different stuff. Out of vehicle, set to scan for the warning lights. A lot of this actually JJ did himself, so all I had to do is set to true. These are the patterns I like. Again, scan, 122, 122, 123, as you can see. It's just two different things there. And I believe the police bike is also by him, so we'll see. No, never mind. It is, but different. So we'll take a look here at another vehicle by him. As you can see, the commands are still the same, since it's the same author. You just have to look around and see. So, take a look one last time at, although this is going to be, this is a vehicle by the Herc. This is part of his CHP pack. And as you can see down here, these traffic and rotator, that's because the vehicle, I don't think I have a picture of it, but it's the old Valor light bar with the rotating lights on top. If you go into here, for example, you can see lighting format is set to CHP, and that's some different stuff. Anyway, hopefully this has helped out with a look inside ELS. If you have any more questions and want me to do a follow-up video, ask them down below. Or head over to the Perimeter Gaming Discord and let us know there. We have members all the time on there. Officer Lee, MDJDUFFY, or Doofy, whatever you want to call him. We got GamersIdol over there. Also, POLICESCO, a Perimeter Gaming member. We have LSPDFR Pics. We have LSPDFR West Bureau, and the Modeler Toy. So head over there, check us out. If you have any questions, I can guarantee one of us has an answer, hopefully. At least we'll act like we do and try to help you. So again, hopefully this helped give you sort of an insight to what my VCFs look like, also how to install ELS for those that are brand new, how to get your game looking similar to my lighting setup, or just give you some more information about ELS and the mystery beast that it is. Anyway, thank you for watching. If this was helpful or you enjoyed it, I mean, I'm trying to make it entertaining, but it's not. It's a tutorial, it's not that entertaining. Regardless, if you enjoyed it or found it helpful by any means, drop a like. I really appreciate all your support on these videos. My channel's been blowing up, for a small channel, that is. So I really appreciate all the support. Of course, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on any more videos. I am just, again, throwing out videos left and right here. Mondays are going to be LSPDFR, Fridays are going to be Farming Simulator, and every day in between, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, Saturday, I went out of order there. We're going to have random videos if I'm feeling up to it. Not a guarantee, but a little surprise there if I'm feeling up to it. Again, if you have any more questions, drop a comment down below. I'll do my best to read and respond. If a follow-up video is needed, I will make one. I also want to do some other tutorials, so if you have any questions, Grand Theft Auto 5 related, or modding related, anything like that, drop a comment down below. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. See you guys later.